And I'm doing a little more modification on the battery box. I'm going to paint it kind of this charcoal gray on the outside. These are the outside PVC pieces that are going to cover it. I'm going to add a little shelf right here of some 1/8 inch by 1 inch steel, so my acrylic cover sheets will fit a little bit better. And that's what I've got going on right now. Underneath the car, I've got this is going to be the charger wiring coming out through here. It goes up to the gas tank inlet site, and then I've got some spa tubing that I've pulled my wires through, and it enters, there we go, right there in the undercarriage, and I'll show you that from the inside in a little while. I'm going to add some supports on it right now. I've just got it temporarily braced up with a piece of steel, and you can see all the wires coming out of the end of it here just hanging down. They're all ready to be hooked up. This is where the wire comes out of the gas tank filler site. I'm going to put a plug in right there. And then I'll go up 6, the car's up on the lift. This is where the spa tubing and all the wires come out. This will be connected to the battery box, the charger unit, and the fuses that are back here once I get them installed. Alright, this is the charging port. Anyway, the wire going into the charging end, and this is where it comes out up here into the wheel well, and it goes right into the wall of the floor of the car right there. And I actually have another wire coming out this way, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's going into the spare tire well right here, and sitting right here is the 12-volt battery for this vehicle. So that's the heavy-duty wires leading to the 12-volt battery to keep it charged up. And this is where it comes into the floorboard. Let's go and zoom in on this. That's coming from the motor compartment. This is going out towards the back. This is the 12-volt charging exit line, and this is the 120/240 charger line coming in, and I'll have those things sealed. I'll put some of that insulating foam around it when I get done. This is partial assembly of the battery box, the frame. Once again, you can see the box that holds the 800 amp fuse. This is where the connections for the charger unit go, and the charger plug. It actually plugs right into the back of the charger. Oops. This is the plug for the charger. And then in here I've got a breaker box. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. You see, it may be too dark, but there's a breaker right there. Probably put some red paint on those so they're easy to identify. And I've got the walls on the box now. Well, the batteries are in, all 44 of them. I just have to make all the connections now. Slowly but surely, coming together. This is the cutoff switch where the positive cable will come through. We'll be able to turn it off if need be. Got all the wires run on the inside. This is going to be my most negative right here running to that corner. The most positive will be over here. I've got my charging 6-gauge coming over here. I've got another 6-gauge negative. It's going to sweep around to that corner and hook into the most negative terminal. And I've got part of my Expert Pro right here. It's going to hook into these two positives right there. Well, this is the battery box. I believe it's completed now. I've gotten all the 2-aught cable put in, the charging cables. All the connectors in between the batteries are ready. As it stands, it reads 145.5 volts across the entire pack, which is consistent with a 3.30.68 volts per cell. You notice I've got the acrylic top on it. It's supported in 4 different locations. In the central portion, by some PVC pipe that I've cut. It's actually a very strong stand on it. It'll hold your weight. And there's actually 2 layers of 1/4-inch acrylic there. I think that would definitely support the weight of the battery if it's, or the battery pack if the car inverts for some reason. It's also held in by 8 bolts around the edges. My charger unit is in. This is my disconnect. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a switch right here where I can turn it off. The battery pack's actually turned off right now until I get the remainder of the wiring in the front. Alright, I've got everything installed. Everything is connected that will make the car run. The battery's charged in the back. This is the 12-volt battery in the back. It's the DC to DC converter for that. The main battery pack is actually plugged in and charging now. It is almost done. In fact, I would say we were very close. It's gone from the constant current to the constant voltage stage right now. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the dash, but it's sitting at 154.2 volts, and that's the level where it goes to constant voltage. And I'll give you a view from the rear. Sorry if the light's blinding. See any of that? Maybe too dark. The only issue I've got right now is that the hairball will not talk to my Palm 3, and so I cannot configure the hairball. I don't know what the default settings are, and I'm a little leery about driving the car without setting that. They're all in here, and I've got it all closed up right now. There are no errors that I can see. The error light's not on, and I'm just going to get in touch with Cafe Electric tomorrow and see if they can give me some insight on why that doesn't work.
It's July 30th, and the first thing you will notice is that the HHR is no longer in my shop. It is now drivable. There's still some issues with it, but I can drive it, and it is fast. The main issues I've got with it right now are the clutch does not engage and disengage the way it's supposed to, but it's always in gear, so you can switch gears just as though you didn't have a clutch. You just have to time it just right. The amp hour meter does not reset when I recharge, so I've got to work on the Expert Pro. Still don't have the environmentals going because the ECU won't come on, and it won't come on because it's not getting a signal from the reluctor wheel or from the mass airflow sensor or from the crankshaft position sensor. So I've got to figure out a way to spoof all those signals. The power steering doesn't work because of that also, and other than that, it's doing pretty good.